In this video, I'm going to cover the 5 systems that you need to hit $1 million a month without working more. And how do I know this? Well, it's because I work directly with 7, 8, and 9-figure founders that use these systems on a day-to-day basis. They all operate in different industries, have different hires, and use different funnels. However, the one thing that they have in common is the bulletproof health optimization system that they've implemented with us. When our clients try to scale rapidly, we're the solution that they go to every single time for implementing their biology in a way that supports them focusing on their business full time while they maximize their output and all their levers in their health. This allows them to make the fastest and most impactful decisions as efficiently as possible without burning out, fatigue, or any of those negative symptoms. And here are the systems that I'm talking about. We have the time-saving piece, the scientific or the data standpoint, the holistic, the informative, the professional, and the automated. These are the 5 systems that OptiMobility uses for all of its clients, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how we take health and we interpret it and apply these sorts of mechanisms to health to make it the most powerful wealth vehicle in your arsenal and in our clients' arsenals. Evidently, the most important aspect of being a high-performing entrepreneur is the time. So the first thing that we identified with health when we first started out was even as we were giving clients meal plans, they weren't being followed because the time required to execute on a meal plan was too high. And we calculated it to around 40 to 60 hours a month. This obviously bled into home care, laundry, and all of those other things that clients still had to do in order to even be healthy in the first place. So instead, we removed the constraints and we removed them having to put time in to see success with us. And we just employed a chef, housekeeper that comes in the home and prepares the meals that we've orchestrated for them. The second piece is the scientific route. By only listening to influencers and general data studies, it's like firing a shotgun in the air and praying to hit a bird that flies by. Nothing works that isn't personalized. So instead, we scrapped all of the fluff and all of the studies, and we did personalized science. That means every single client gets a full blood panel, a DEXA scan, a gut test, and a DNA test as well. Using that hard-coded data, we store it in our LLM, and then we use AI to orchestrate plans in terms of nutrition, fitness, recovery that align with the personalized data and those conflictance points that exist uniquely to every single individual that we work with. No aspect and no person is built the same way. And so therefore, science needs to be done to identify what those problems are. Instead of just calling ourselves training coaches, we started looking at things holistically. There's no stone unturned that we don't cover in health besides the mental health piece, where there's obviously professionals. But in terms of optimizing the body and the systems, we handle it all, from sleep, training, nutrition, mobility, digestion, breathing, VO2 max, you name it. Because fundamentally speaking, all these systems exist within the body and they depend on one another in order to uplift and have that maximum level of output that we're all chasing. Instead of information being stored in PDFs, just like a blood panel that you might have done that just sits in the bottom shelf, much like our clients before they met us, we integrated everything into Airtable, Google Sheets, and N8N. That way, new relationships with data are happening on a lifetime scale. The gut and what's going on internally is talking to the blood work, much like how it is on a day-to-day basis with our bodies. We're actively decoding biology as we speak, and we're making big strides in science by understanding the holistic perspective of the body. Because fundamentally speaking, in the next 20 years, we're going to have a live monitor on our arms or on our bodies that clearly indicates and pulls our blood, how much our insulin spikes when we eat something, our food reactivity, etc. That is how we're going to live past 150 years old and fundamentally change the way that we view health. Without information, we're just guessing. Even the Garmin is a good example of guessing. It uses heart rate to estimate how many calories are being burned, which isn't accurate. So by integrating that information holistically and having it run through our proprietary AI software, it's able to finally talk. So what this means is if your gut and bloods are off, our data will know exactly what to do in order to fix what's going on your plate with the in-home chef. Finally, Martin and I obviously have amazing certifications and we have a lot of first-hand experience in Ironman training, etc. But from a professional lens, we don't go to general doctors. Instead, we hired a naturopath, geneticist, and pro trainers that actively use the data and the information in Airtable, as well as knowing that it's being implemented with the in-house team to actually see amazing strides with the way that their clients are coming in, because the whole system is operated under one umbrella, ours. So the professionals that we've employed are no longer getting burnt out, they're no longer getting stressed out, and they actually have a hand in how they see client success. And finally, it's all automated. So instead of having to cook, clean, gather. Everything is shipped to the front doors. Supplements are refilled by our in-home team members. Meals are obviously automated as well. Training is the one thing that we need an input from your end in order to do and in our clients, but obviously they all love training, especially when they know it's aligned. And these are the systems that have changed the lives of 7, 8, 9, and 10-figure founders all over the world, because this is a glimpse into the future. This is how health is going to operate, and we're carving out the philosophies and the ways that humans are getting healthier and smarter. Check out our website, optimability.com, as well as our Instagram and my personal Instagram for more information.